I'm Mike Miller. Hope you're having a great day. Thanks so much for checking out my instructional videos related to the use of the English language. I majored in English when I went to college and began to tutor, and then worked as a graduate assistant while I taught beginning grammar and composition classes, and have had the honor to get to help a lot of people with their writing skills, their basic writing skills. I've had many international students over the years. One time at North Lake College I had predominantly Vietnamese students, and that was very interesting in a composition class. And I found it very interesting that they tended to have a different word order, and I therefore just explained how the English word order works. So word order is sometimes different in various languages, but you just have to analyze your writing according to what's really going on, the subject of the sentence, of each sentence. What is the subject? Who is the doer of the action? What is the verb adding action to? The verbs or the action words, the nouns or the names of the person, place, or thing. And we have to be verbs also: is, am, are, A-R-E, was, were, and been. And Spanish and French use these verbs also. Have a to-be verb. Many languages, I presume, have a to-be verb. And there are a lot of other verbs that are similar to the to-be verb, like seem, remain, appear. This means about the same thing as is, am, are, was, were, been. Like she seems tired, she appears tired, she is tired. It's similar, but there's some meaning difference. And if you can put in more action words, more colorful verbs into your writing as you revise your writing, try to not use the to-be verb too much, because it makes your writing too passive. Work toward using other verbs, and some of the other verbs that are very common are the sensory verbs, like smell, taste, hear, and the many synonyms that have basically the same meaning, and so those kinds of verbs can be used. The nouns and the verbs are the most important part of the writing, and you want to concise, to not have too many phrases and clauses that are distracting from the true action of the sentence. And if it's a process you're describing or something like that, you want to keep it concise. Keep your writing concise. Work toward conciseness as you rewrite. Rewriting is very important when you turn in papers for your college classes. I know it sounds like so much work, but it is a lot of work, and you just have to start way ahead of time to start organizing your papers. If you're an international student, it's going to take some extra time. Maybe get hooked up with the tutoring center or something like that is a good idea. I've helped a lot of international students over the years through tutoring personally, as well as having classes. And when I was a graduate assistant, the chairman called me into his office one time, and he said that he had a night class. It was going to be predominantly Iranian and Iraqi men taking English 101. And of course they don't like English classes. They know it's a lot of work for them, and most of them at that time were civil engineers over here studying civil engineering, and they were required to take English classes, though it was not their first language. So they all took the same section. A lot of guys did, and so it was really an experience I will never forget. The first night I walked into class, the Iranians were sitting next to the window, and the Iraqians were sitting next to the wall. Nobody sat in the middle. They were just like lined up across from each other. I walked in there and I knew there was tension. These guys didn't like each other. It was all men, and they didn't trust each other. The Iranians and the Iraqians did not like each other, and are still having problems. It's been a long time, and I didn't know anything about what was really going on over there until I took that class, and still it's confusing to me. So I just began to teach the class, and they began to, they would interact, and they sometimes made fun of each other. If a guy on this side said or had a certain question, the guys over here were like, and they made fun of each other. It was really weird. I had to pretend like I was ignoring certain things, and try to bring them together. And so gradually, they started sitting closer to the center, and they started filling in, and they would sit. The more aggressive students began to sit on the front row. Sometimes, and sometimes you have some students who like to sit on the very back and make a lot of comments and ask a lot of questions. That's a certain personality. I've known students like that. But they gradually became friends, but they told me that when they went home, they couldn't admit that their families would be mad if they knew that they had become friends with the other side, And so I wondered if any of them, got in touch with each other over the years. They remembered being in class together, and some of them I would see them around campus too, sometimes walking around together. They began to trust each other, and I thought that was so cool. But I just wanted to share that story, and I've enjoyed all the international students that I've had the opportunity to work with over the years. It's been very enlightening to me and broadened my horizons, and I wish all of you very good luck with all of your papers, and please check out my other videos. I hope they will be helpful to you to help you write complete sentences and punctuate your papers correctly and have strong verbs and descriptive nouns. And so thank you very much. Have a great day.